This is the math video for Math 9.3, and we're doing something similar to what we did in 9.1 and 9.2. 9.1, we found the area and the missing dimensions of parallelograms. 9.2, we found the same thing with triangles. This time, we're going to trapezoids, okay? And a trapezoid is a quadrilateral. It's got four sides, four angles. It's a polygon. It's all connected. It only has two sides that are parallel. This side here and this side here are parallel. They're different lengths. And then you have these other two sides that aren't parallel, aren't the same length. Okay? So it's a different formula for the area of it. Remember, the area of a parallelogram is base times height. Then a triangle, which is half of a parallelogram, so its area equals 1/2 times the base times the height. Now, an area of a trapezoid is going to be 1/2 times your height, times the height. 1/2 times the height, and then you put these parentheses, which means you got to do it first, but it's also just timesing all this. Base 1 plus base 2. So you got to get the bases. There's two bases. It's the two sides that are parallel. They each have a length. You use that. Okay? So, over here, I have a trapezoid. This right here is going to be one base. This right here is going to be another base. So there are my two bases. Now, if this forms a right angle here, this is my height. Okay? I could have also gone in here. That also is my height. But it's from the base to the base. A straight line, base to the base, forming a right angle gives me my height. So, in the formula, area equals 1/2 times my height, which is right there, and then times my base 1, which is right there, plus my base 2, which is right there. Then you put those together first. You always do parentheses first. Then you can multiply them in any way you want. Okay? And it's like a triangle. Okay? So let's look over here. Let's do it with one. This is a trapezoid. I got my two bases here. This is a base. This is a base. I got my height of 4 inches. Okay. So area equals 1/2 times height times base 1 plus base 2. Okay. And because you're adding these, it doesn't matter which one you do first. You just need to use those two bases. So area equals 1/2 times my height is 4 inches. And then parentheses, base 1, let's do 2.5 plus 4.8. Okay? So I'm going to do the parentheses first. 2.5 plus 4.8 is 7.3. I can put that like that. 4 1/2 area equals. So now I can actually get rid of these parentheses. Put a dot right here. Now I have the formula for a triangle. It's 1/2 times 4 times 7.3. So I'm going to do the 1/2 times 4. I know half of 4 is 2 times 7.3. Okay. And then if I do 2 times 7.3, you might know how to do this in your head. You can do that, or you can use a calculator. Doesn't matter. It's going to be 14.6. So my area of this one, area equals 14.6. It's in inches, and because it's the area, it's squared. Okay? So there's your formula. You do 1/2 times your height times your two bases put together. Okay? All right. You're going to have some chance to practice quite a bit of these. So when you have a formula, you just plug in the numbers, do it based on order of operations, do your parentheses first, and then you can multiply the three things together. Okay, now let's go to another example. In this example, we know the bases, we know the area, but we don't know the height. So I want to figure out what the height is. Okay? I know my formula. Area equals 1/2 times height times base 1 plus base 2. So I'm going to plug in the things I know. Do I know the area? Yep. 24 equals 1/2 times, do I know my height? I do not. I'm going to keep that as a variable, times my bases. These are my two bases. 4 plus 12. So in this problem, I have a number equals a number, variable, number, number. So if I have one variable, I can solve this thing to figure out what h is. So I start with my parentheses. 24 equals 1/2 times h times 4 plus 12 is 16. Okay. Now, I'm going to multiply these two things together. 1/2 of 16 is 8. So 24 equals 8 times h. Now I just want to find this h all by itself. So it's times 8. I have to divide it by 8. And I have to do that to both sides. 24 divided by 8 is 3. And that is h. So h equals 3. So my height is 3 centimeters. Now that we know these three things, we can figure out the area. We know the area is 24 centimeters squared. Let's forget about it just for a second. Let's make sure these numbers work. So area equals 1/2 times height times base 1 plus base 2. So area is what I'm going to try and find. 1/2. My height is 3. And my base is 4 plus 12. Okay? So I just got to solve all this together. I'm doing the order of operations. It's 16 times 3 times 1/2 equals a. Here's where I get to a point where 1/2 times 3, that doesn't go even. So I'm actually going to do this first. I'm going to do 1/2 times 16. Doesn't matter which one I do, which order, it's all multiplication. So it'll always work out. So area equals 8 times 3. Because 1/2 of 16 is 8. Bring my 3 down. Now, area equals 24 centimeters squared, which is what they told me to begin with. So these numbers do work. They fit in, and this is how you do it when you're missing one. Okay? Same thing if you're missing one in a parallelogram, if you're missing one in a triangle. So with a parallelogram, triangle, and a trapezoid, you follow the formula. Okay? Plug things in, follow order of operations, and you can find either the area or you can find a missing dimension. Okay? Let me know if you have any questions.